going. Your guys' time is valuable. Thank you guys all so much for coming on the call live. Learners are earners. The fact that you have made it onto this call speaks volumes. It is so easy to be like, oh, I could be doing this, or I could be, doing anything else. But the fact that you're here means that you are looking for more. You're looking to grow your team. You're looking to grow the business. And I'm super excited to be talking about recruiting outside of parties. So my name is Andrea Sale. I have been with Pampered Chef nearly 17 years. I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I have been a national executive for 4 years now. And I'm one of only two in all of Canada, which is super proud to be able to travel this Saturday to see everybody. So that's very exciting. We have Chairman Circle coming up next week. So you guys will see some updates from there. And I always like to put my little plug in that any of you, every single one of you can be a national executive as well. It just takes deciding that that is something that you want to work towards and building a team and inspiring other people to build teams. So what we're going to be talking about is recruiting outside of parties. So one of the things I posted in the group before this call was, what are two things that Pampered Chef has brought to your life besides the business? So I always like to remind myself of this when I'm thinking about recruiting, because the answers were amazing. Best friends, confidence, travel, having a business that you're proud of, so pride, of course, additional income. But you'll notice that pretty much every single answer when I asked, what is your favorite thing about Pampered Chef besides the products, had nothing to do with income. So when it comes to recruiting, all those reasons are why we ask about the business and why we talk to people and offer them the business. If you are not talking about recruiting, you are literally taking all those things away from people. So you're literally, pride and friendship and confidence and all the amazing things that we get to enjoy every single day. If you're not talking about the business and you're not recruiting, you're not offering those things to people in their lives. So one of the most powerful things that somebody told me one time was that it's kind of like offering a plate of cookies. So say you see your neighbor outside and you're so excited because all your new holiday products have just arrived, and you go to your neighbor and say, "Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. The holiday products have just arrived and I have all these new products. I'm having so much fun in my Pampered Chef business. And I'm working towards this trip to Disney World." And you have this plate of cookies in your hand and you're talking about your Pampered Chef business. And then you say, "Anyways, have a good day." And then you walk in your house without offering your neighbor a cookie from that plate. So it's the same thing with the business. If we're excited and we're super pumped about what we're doing and the mission that we're on to show people what Pampered Chef is. There's so many people out there that don't even know what Pampered Chef is still, and how this can make such an impact in their lives. So make sure that when you're excited and you're talking about those new holiday products or whatever it is that you're excited about in your business, you're offering them to join you. So statistically, friends who start together are actually more successful. So if there is somebody in your life that you are like, she is somebody I'd love to travel with. It would be so fun if she was to earn a trip, or if we were to work on this together. That is a really good way to think, because people who start together are more successful. And the goal is you're not going to be crossing, even people who, consultants who live in the same city, or even on the same street, you're not going to be crossing over, because you, of course, our market is all of the United States or all of Canada. So the goal is to not be crossing over. So let's see here. So what I like to do with myself when I'm recruiting out of parties is I like to think of myself as a top recruiter at a big corporation. So say you're a CEO for a company, who do you want on your team? So these can be people who work a really big corporate job and they're super successful. I want successful people on my team. Those are people that I ask about the business, because those are the types of people I want to work with. So the things that you can say to them is, hey, Tanya, and I'm saying this because a girl, Tanya, on my team who is a leader, I always respected her in the corporate world. And I said, you're so successful in the corporate world. I really think you'd be awesome at this. You're organized, you're successful. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? I think you'd be great. She literally took her a couple years of me asking. So often when we're recruiting out of parties, we're planting a lot of seeds. We have to ask a number of times and keep having those little prompts to, you should just do this. You'd be great at this. And so go for those people who are super successful in business. We have a lot of people on our team who are paramedics. They work at the hospital. We have some judges, policemen, and people like that when they have jobs like this, because this is their fun side to life. So they have really tough jobs. They see rough things all day, and they like it because they get to go and do something fun that isn't dealing with the hard things in life that so many people have to deal with in their career. So those people like first responders, those are great people. They're often exhausted and they are exhausted of what they're doing. I always like to tell people that busy people are our most successful. I see you working so much. I know that this is something you could fit into your schedule now because you are so busy. And I do find that busy people are our most successful. So we always have to remember that when we're recruiting, we're in a recruiting slump. We're not in a recruiting slump. We're in an asking slump. So we want to make sure that we're constantly tracking. So you can use a piece of paper or a spreadsheet, your asks. So many of my leaders will say, or people on my team will say, oh, I just got so sick of Andrea asking. I finally was like, what the heck? I'll give it a try. So you don't, if you're worried about being pushy, you're not going to be pushy. If you truly believe in the business, so you guys have heard of the belief triangle, hopefully. If you truly believe in the business, so you believe the Pampered Chef is going to be a positive influence in their life, that will drive you to act. Your actions are going to get you results and then reinforce your belief. So, like, I never feel like, oh, would you be interested in hosting a party for me? It's like, heck no. I am going to do a party for you and I'm going to change your kitchen forever. And that's kind of the way that I feel about with the business too. You're not joining my team so that we can help me earn a trip or get to the next level in the career plan. I truly believe that this could change your life. We've heard so many testimonials of how business has changed their lives. And, from there, just drive with your action to ask. So you know that you're not coming at a place about making it about you. This is about how Pampered Chef could change your life. So really check in with your belief. If you feel like I'm scared to ask, I don't know how to ask. The thing that got me recruited 17 years ago was someone said to me, "Have you ever thought about doing something like this?" And it was at a live cooking show. And I said, no, I would never do something like this. And I called 2 weeks later and signed up. So she planted that seed. So I always train my new consultants and everyone on my team. It's just the easiest way to start a conversation and to ask people about the business. Have you ever thought of doing something like this? So people are watching what we're doing every day, especially with social media. So one of my favorite things to do, and if you've been on a call with me before, you'll know that one of my favorites is selling the lifestyle of what we do. The flexibility, your kid is homesick from school, you don't have to take a paid time off day, or you don't have to call in sick yourself. You are able to stay home with your kids. One of my favorite things to do is when my cleaners come, I always go to a coffee shop and take a picture and say, my house is getting cleaned and it's actually a tax write-off. Did you guys know that? Getting your house cleaned is a janitorial expense and you can write that off. Woo-hoo! If that's one thing you get from this call, you all deserve to have a house cleaner so that, you could be scrubbing a toilet or you could be booking parties and telling people about the business. So, tell people that here I am at a coffee shop, my house is getting cleaned because it's a great tax write-off. I love that I can work from anywhere. You're working at the side of a pool, things like that. I personally love working from my bed. I do 90% of my work from my phone. I just think it is so luxurious to wake up in the morning, pour a coffee, send my kids off to school, and go back to bed. Like, who gets to do that? I have leaders on my team, right? Woohoo! I have leaders on my team that say, like, I got so sick of you posting that you're working from your bed. I wanted to do that, so I'll sign up and try this dang thing. So you really want to sell the lifestyle, the flexibility, being able to go on a holiday on a Tuesday night for an overnight, things like that. So let's see here. Oh, another thing that's really been working for a few people on my team that have been recruiting like rock stars this month is instead of being like, do you want to start a business? Or like, the kits on this for this sale. They have just been saying to people, do you want to make some money this week? I love it. This is a girl on my team. She's in my third generation, and she has been recruiting like gangbusters, recruiting a ton of people. And she has just been saying, are you interested in making some money this week? Like, how smart is that? Because we can start, sign them up today, start their launch party tomorrow. They're going to start making money right away. So, really be that head CEO in a recruiting mindset. When you're scrolling through your Facebook feed and you see people complaining about grocery costs, or people looking for jobs, write them right away and say, I have a way to help you start making money right away. Would you like to hear some more info? You don't need to be all, pampered chef. I can do your launch party for you. I'm going to run it and you're going to get a ton of free stuff for hosting. Plus, you're going to make a paycheck. What do you think? So keep it really small. And I always like to end it with the question. Another thing you guys can do is go through anybody who has spent, you can produce a report under reports and customers. Anybody who has spent over $100, I like to write them a message or send them a text and say, hey, Susan, just writing you to see how your tools are holding up. I wanted to let you know that you can start your own business for only $44 this month. I know you love the product. What do you think? If they ordered over $100 in stuff, they love the product. Let's be honest. They're going to be loving their order. So then you're giving them customer care and then you're starting some two-way conversations back and forth. A scam. I know people think we're a scam because they think that we are paid in product and we don't make actual cash. It's so nice that we uh, actually do make a great commission. And I always like to remind people that we are owned by Warren Buffett and we've been in business for 45 years. So did you guys know that it takes approximately 25 years to have the reputation that Pampered Chef does? So one of the biggest things that we have going for us is the fact that have such a beloved brand, right? And that takes decades to curate a brand like that. That people go, oh, Pampered Chef. I've never in 17 years been like, I hate Pampered Chef. Sometimes people will walk by my market booths and go like, oh, that stuff's expensive. And then I'm like, did you know that 75% of the catalog's under $20? Come take a look at some of this stuff. And I can normally wheel them in the booth, which leads me into my next recruiting outside of parties is doing markets. Who's done a market before? Or a fair or a table, trade show, Christmas market. Yay! These are the best way to get outside your friend and family circle. So if you have never done one, this is market season, Christmas markets galore. And you don't think that you have to have stock or anything like that. You can just have any tablecloth. You don't have to have a Pampered Chef tablecloth. Set up a nice display. And then the biggest thing that you're going to want to do is to have a draw slip there. And what I do is I say that I'm giving away a cooking show. I'm giving away $100 shopping spree. Please enter my draw. So I'm getting all their contact info that way. Another thing that I do, and I add hundreds of people to my contact list. Does anybody use MailChimp or know of MailChimp? I use that for my emailing. That's a really good email system. Whatever mailing system you use, just have it so you can take, or a notepad in your phone. I say to them, I send out an email with recipes and sales. Would you like to be added? And I add hundreds and hundreds of people to my email list every single market. So don't tell them you send out a newsletter. Just say, I send out an email with recipes and sales. Would you like to be added? And then when I'm looking for bookings or I'm running a sale, guess who's the people who are booking parties and shopping from my sale? It's all these people that I've captured and I've added to my email list. So don't let them walk away without getting their contact info. So Who has done a live party before? People here have done some live parties. Yay, that's so good to see. So when you call, get these draw slips. So we just did a huge home show in Calgary this past weekend, and we booked so many parties. We always, have you guys ever heard the saying, overbook and pray they cancel? We are like at the point where we overbooked and pray they cancel because we are that booked. So what we do is we call every single person who entered the draw and be like, hey, Melissa, this is Andrea calling. I met you at the home show this past weekend. I've actually drawn your name for a free cooking show. Woohoo! And then I say, normally how it works, and just don't stop talking. Normally how it works is that our hosts buy the ingredients, we come and cook, and you get a ton of free stuff. But in this case, I'm going to buy the ingredients. All you have to do is invite some friends over and you're going to get tons of free stuff for hosting. And then they're like, oh, that's so exciting. And then you say, does a weekend or a weeknight work best? Awesome. And then I'll give them a date that works. Boom, you got a booking, move on. Sometimes people say, oh no, I couldn't do that. I say, not to worry. If you don't want to put on a bra or clean your house, I also offer an extra $25 in free for a virtual party since you're my winner. What do you think? It's on Facebook. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. Let's just give it a shot. And then you'll book your virtual parties. So as we know, the fortune is in the follow-up. So following up, it's great to have all those contacts and add them to your email list, but the real future business, we always say this is a 90-day business. So the work that you're putting in now is really going to pay off in 90 days. You're setting yourself up. So that's what I do to really book live shows with people outside my circle or convert them to virtual party bookings. When I'm out and about, the other thing I like to do, so at this market, I'm like, why don't I just add you on Facebook right now? So I'm adding people, I'm trying to funnel people into my email list and funnel people into my VIP group and onto my social media like Instagram. So I'm always like, do you have Instagram? You know, people are like, do you have a business card? I'm like, here's a catalog. But hey, do you have Instagram? Let's add each other on Instagram. Then they're seeing my stories and me cooking with the products. And they're like, oh, I saw you cook with that electric twist and chop. I'm like, we can actually get you that for free when you try this business out. You can get the electric twist and chop for free this month. What do you think? I'm going to run your first party. And what I always say to people, I always like to keep recruiting super, super relaxed and non-stress. So it's not like I remember when I signed up for Mary Kay years ago and it was so intense. We had agreements and I had to wear nylons and it was very scary. But I had to like sign on the dotted line to do this. So I like to approach it very casually. Like the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to get a ridiculous amount of products for a really good price. Like that is the worst thing that's going to happen. If you order a kit and sell $0, the Pampered Chef police are not going to show up on your doorstep and ask for their money back. So why don't we just try it? If it's not for you, I don't care. You know, I'm going to try my best to have nylons, right? Oh, I know. See, this Pampered Chef's the way, man. And also, we have the best product because like look, we have guys on the call, we have a product that everybody needs. So if you are recruiting outside of parties and you're talking to people like, oh well, I've kind of been looking at a few different options, we have so many things that put us head and shoulders above the rest. Obviously Warren Buffett, how long we've been around, but also everybody needs to eat. Also, they don't claw back commissions or trip points on returns or exchanges unless it's like really high. But you know, whereas other companies, they're clawing back commission and trip points. Just little things like that put us head and shoulders above the rest compared to other direct sales companies. So just remembering those little points when people are like, well, I don't know. Keep it super casual. So let's just try this out. If it doesn't work, whatever, you're going to end up with all these products, but I'd really like to see where you take it. This is a little bit of recruiting in parties, but when your host says no, like the whole time to sign up, when you're getting her party started and you're going through the party, you're closing her party, and she has some bookings, one of my favorite tricks is I like to say, okay, we got 3 bookings from your party. Do you want to go to these parties and and spend money, or do you want to do these parties and make money? And they go, oh man, well, might as well, give it a shot. So I always say that, I would have killed when I first started for 3 bookings. Like, this is crazy. You have a business already. We might as well give this a try and see what you think. So remember, yeah, that I have written down here, if people have spent over $100, message them about how they're liking their tools and if they've ever thought about doing something like this. Emily's really good at these this or that posts where you can post on your timeline or your VIP group when it's like you can spend $44 for this and it's like what, I don't know, a piece of stoneware. Or you can get all this, like the whole consultant kit for $44. Which one would you choose? And then get people commenting on those posts and then directly message them. Whenever somebody tags me in like a community group, like, oh, this person's looking for a piece of stoneware. Does anybody know a Pampered Chef consultant? I generally always go to these people and be like, did you know that stone is in our kit? Why don't we just try? Have you ever thought about doing something like this? We don't have enough people in your area. We pretty much don't have enough people at all in Pampered Chef to service the amount of people in the States or in Canada. So whenever I find out someone's from an area that really doesn't, okay, everywhere doesn't have enough people, I'm like, we have no one selling in your area. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? We need more consultants. So like the west coast of Canada, and I think the States as well, there's way less people selling out there. We need more people in your area. So just telling people, Sharon Zellen in her live today was talking about that she's seeing bulletins everywhere saying, hiring holiday help, need temp workers for holiday help, just like our DC does at the home office. They hire temps for our busy season. We need more consultants for our busy season. So tell people we need help. We need more people to service the amount of people in the United States or that are looking for Pampered Chef. Um, and also there, like, I'm not very organized. And I'm really bad at fine print. So one of my goals was to build people on my team that are really organized and can like really. So I'm always like, I'm looking for more people, organized people. You are super organized. Like, there's a girl on my baseball team that is just unreal. As I'm like, you are amazing. You're so organized. I need you on my Pampered Chef team. I need organization. I think you'd be awesome at this. What do you think? Do you want to give it a try? So when you're out and about and you see people in your life, you're adding them to social media. You're telling them that you send out an email with recipes and sales. Would you like to be added? And then you're just saying to them, like, you'd be so good at this. Have you ever? You're just constantly saying it to people all the time. Another trick too is to put on your Facebook that you are looking for a virtual assistant and you need help. Even if you are not looking for a virtual assistant and you don't need help, because holy man, you will bring out so many people that are looking for gig work. So this is like a new trick that I've been doing with people on my team. So say that you're looking for people who are looking for like you're looking for a virtual assistant help, then you can say that the spot has actually been filled, but I offer another type of virtual work, and I would love to help you make some money from your phone that way. So you're siphoning those people who are looking, because there's so many people that are looking to make money. Like we know we've learned like Uber Eats and TaskRabbit and all these people love a side hustle. Why not do Pampered Chef? I also like to take people for coffee. So this is kind of old school, but I still do it, or lunch. So somebody that you think would be good at this, like that girl from my baseball team, I'm like, can I just take you for breakfast? I know you have a flexible schedule. I'm just going to tell you more about it. And if after that you're like, no, it's not for me, that's totally cool. But why don't I just sit with it, have a coffee with you, and tell you more about it? And then they can just ask you questions. We always want to make sure that we're not puking Pampered Chef on them. So whenever they ask a question, we're just answering the question back. We're not telling them more detail. Like, you don't need to tell them about project broadcast and success rewards. And, we can tell them maybe a little bit, they can earn a Hearthstone maybe or something, but we don't want to overwhelm people. Just keep it super duper duper simple. We're just going to do your launch party. You're going to make a paycheck and get a shopping spree, and we see where you take it from there. No pressure at all. When I learned this from Sharon Zellen. When she signs people up, so when she has a new consultant that starts, she likes to get them to think of 5 people in their life that they think would be good at this. And I like to do this all the time still. So this is a great activity for all of us to do. So do you guys have a pen and paper by any chance? Or a phone? If you're not on your phone, you can write some notes or just think of it in your head. Okay, so you know that famous saying that there's a recruit at every party, that is there just may not be a recruiter. So remember that at every single party, like, who am I going to sign up from this party? But let's think about, so if you are a brand new consultant, I know there's some brand new consultants here. Who is somebody in your life who is always posting about food? So they're posting all the baking they're making. Maybe they're dining out at restaurants far too often, like me, and posting about them all the time, like me. I'm such a foodie. So who's the foodies in your life? Who's posting food or posting baking, or baking stuff like that? Who is like the food person that when you think of people in your life, like, oh, she's such a food person, she's always going to that hot new restaurant? That is somebody. So these are the types of people to talk to. Like, you love food, you're always posting about food. Have you ever thought about doing something like this? I thought you would be great, because so the worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to be complimented that you thought of them. So that's like the worst thing that will happen. And then you've planted a seed, and so many times these people come around again and will sign up at a later date. So that's the first one. The second one to think about for people in your life: somebody who was laid off, or their husband was laid off, or lost their job, fired, only have one spouse, they're unemployed themselves, or their spouse. And if you can't think of the person right now, you can just write these down so that you can think about it later. These are great people. I know there's been so many stories, like when my husband, he was in the most stressful job ever. I thought he was going to die of a heart attack, and he was able to quit that super stressful job. And we had like a year gap where he was looking for a better job. And if it wasn't for Pampered Chef, just retired. I always say that I have so many people on my team that are retired and loving it. Good one. Third people to think about to ask are somebody who needs a break from the kids. Don't we all? I think my child is upstairs screaming right now, crying. So someone who needs a break from their kids. Fourth person would be somebody who is looking for some more friends. So maybe they just moved to the area, they don't know anybody. Somebody who's lonely, maybe they're from abroad, maybe they've just moved states. So somebody who you think would really benefit for more friends and more fun. Who would that be if you scroll through your friends list? And then lastly, who is somebody you really truly would love to travel with? I'm always like, can all my friends please do Pampered Chef so you guys can be on these trips with me? Like, this is way too much fun. Who would you love to travel with? Like I said, the worst thing that's going to happen when you ask people about this is they're going to be complimented. Like, oh, Michelle actually sees that I could be good at Pampered Chef. Like, I don't think I'd be good at that at all, but that's really cool that she thought of me. Just like when we're working with leaders on our team, like all of you people, we often can see it in you before you can see it in yourself. And that's the same with being a consultant. Take catalogs with you everywhere you go. You want to be like that irritating person at the chiropractor. I go to Starbucks, I'm like, who needs the new Pampered Chef catalog? You want to give catalogs to your doctor, all the secretaries, everywhere you go, so that everybody knows you do it. If I was to go on your social media right now, like Emily always says, would you know that you sell Pampered Chef? So the one thing I would like to talk about is it within your parties is the ticket game, because I have recruited so many people in my parties from this game. You can do it in your live parties, or you can do it in your virtual parties. Has anybody heard of the ticket game? So this is when I'm at my live parties and I finish doing the recipe, I always say, okay, we're going to play a really quick game. You don't have to move, anything like that. In order to get a ticket, you just have to ask me a question about what I do, not what my favorite product is, the air fryer, but about what I do. And you can ask me anything. And then everybody looks at you like you have 12 heads and they're like, so then I get them going and I'm like, good question. How much does it cost to start? I'm like, right now it's $44, or you can get your kit for 44% off. And then I'll just show them the pictures of the kits. And then the next person will be like, what product do you hate the most in the catalog? And then I'll be like, good question. How much do I make? So I always bring it back to the business. So I don't answer the question, what's my most hated product, which there is none, let's be honest. But I'll say, good question. How much do I make? So I don't make it about me. The trick to this game is you want to make it about them. So then I say, for the average cooking show that you just saw, on average you'd make about $200. So if you wanted to add $500 to your monthly income, I'd say 2 or 3 live parties a month, or about 4 live virtual parties a week, and you'd be able to make that same type of income per week. So about $200 per week. So then people are like, oh, okay. And then another one would be, I only want 5 questions answered. So people would be like, well, how much do you work? And again, I'm not going to answer that. Oh, well, I do this full time and I like it, so I never feel like I'm working. I say, good question. There's people on my team who do 1 show a week, 1 show a month, or 1 show every 6 months. You can do it as much or as little as you'd like. So you're always turning it back to them. So it's often the people who don't ask any questions at all that will come up to you after the party and be like, can you tell me a little bit more about, doing Pampered Chef? Like, I can really do this from my phone. So you're really just trying to turn all the questions. Oh, another one that I do is someone will be like, I don't know, another question about products. Can the stoneware go in the dishwasher? And then I'll say, good question, recognition. I don't get recognized for doing the dishes or doing the laundry, but the cool thing with Pampered Chef is you always get free product shipped to your door. So last month we're selling this much, and this month we got all the holiday products. This month we're earning this crazy $300 skillet for selling. I'm not sure what it is in the States. I think it's 1,500 for you guys. Nice. Yeah, it's 1,800 for us, but anyway, so just, turning it in how they could do it. And then you can tell them that you're working towards a trip. So whatever goal that you have for yourself in this business, so whether it be that you're trying to earn the trip, you're trying to move up the career plan, excellence awards. I've heard some people say retire their husbands, make some more income. Make sure to write that down, because only 3% of people actually write down their goals. And of that, 97% of people actually achieve them. So put it somewhere that you can see all the time. So if you're working on Disney, put that on your fridge. Like, I have 4 things that I'm working on really hard in my life right now, and I have those on my fridge, and it's like, I know, I'm on it. Recruit more people, or whatever it is that you're trying to work towards. Write it down, and it is spooky and crazy what happens when you write those things down. One of my favorite things to do as well. Oh yeah, so the 5 questions that I like to have answered for the ticket game is, how much do I make? How much does it cost to start? How much do I work? I really like that recognition one. Recognition. I don't get recognized for doing the dishes or doing the laundry. What's the other one? Uh, sometimes I'll touch on that we don't have to have inventory, which is nice. And I like to touch on the fact that we can earn trips. Whatever that you're passionate about. It's a good question. So for a virtual party, I always like to ask them before the party starts, like, I'm setting up your party, I'm still going to run it, you're going to get a shopping spree. Would you like to make the commission as well? kind of the way that I word it when I'm setting up my virtual parties. When I'm setting up for a live party, I always say, Susan, I'm still going to do the cooking show, but you have so many people coming tonight. Like, we should just make this your party. So I always offer that to my host as I'm setting up. I like to get there 30 minutes before to learn more about her life. That's my whole point. I can be set up in 10 minutes, but I like to, what do you do for work? Oh, what is that like? Do you like your job? Oh, cool. So get to know my host more and then offer her the party before it starts. Sometimes what happens is it's a $2,000 party, and then now Susan wants to sign up. But I say, sorry, you had to have um, decided to do the business before the party. So this party will be mine because I did offer it to you ahead of time. But we got 3 bookings, and those ones are all yours, and I'm going to help you do those ones. So don't let people trick you into, oh, it's a $2,000 party. Now I want to make it mine. So that's the only caveat. Live videos. If you have not done an unboxing of the holiday products, this is a really good one to do in your VIP group. Talk about how you got it for free and give people ideas for gifts. The reason I say this, I know that we say like go live, go live, go live on your timelines or in your VIP groups, and you don't have to go live. You can just film a video that you're happy with and then post it. Is people are going to join your team, buy from you, and host with you if they like and trust you. Those are the 2 top reasons that people are going to join your team or buy from you. So you want to be in front of them all the time. I had, and you're not actually trying to sell anything when you're just trying to be known as the Pampered Chef lady and that you're excited about what you're doing. I had a lady call me yesterday and said, I saw your hot chocolate video. You were unboxing the stuff with your kids. I have no idea who this lady is. She must be in my VIP group. And she said, can I order $2,500 worth of frothers, hot chocolate sets, and something else to make it 2,500 bucks for this many people? I've never had that happen before. And so it's just like, wow, I thought that live video was a train wreck, but I am so, no, I didn't say that. I was like, amazing. That's the best gift I've ever heard. Let's write you up right now. So like weird things can come from that when you go live and social selling. Don't feel like you have to be techie or know how to do a reel. I don't know how to do that either. Just try and film yourself opening a can with the can opener or just something really simple. And that's going to start building you some more people that are actually watching your videos and building that like and trust. Tell people that you're looking to build a team. I say that all the time. I'll say it in my emails I send out. I am looking for people. I am hiring. Whenever I do a market, I have a we're hiring sign on my table. And I constantly, like, if somebody walks in and they're excited, I'm like, you should do this. Like, I want you on my team. I'm a CEO at a head, I'm a headhunter, and you're somebody I want on my team because you're excited, right? So tell people that you think they'd be good at that and try and look for them all the time. You are never, ever, ever too new to recruit. So don't feel like, like I have one party this month and now like I think she'd be a really good consultant, but I don't want to give the party away because then, I'm not going to have any parties. Man, you guys have the skill and the will to get more parties. It is so much more beneficial to you to build a team than it is to keep that one party. Like it's really fun to accomplish things yourself, but when you watch other people accomplish things, it is the most rewarding part of this business. And Barb's shaking her head. It is the best feeling in the world when people on your team start to accomplish things. And trust us when we tell you that when you see our override checks, you do not care as much about what you sell. And it is definitely more about the team and what they're selling, because in the end, that's how you're going to make the serious, serious money in this business. My last note here is to become a student of recruiting. So I remember when I was like, okay, I'd really like to recruit my first person. I remember recruiting her and I had sweat dripping down my back. I was absolutely horrified and scared. I remember listening to Belinda Ellsworth CDs in my car driving around. So the fact you guys are even on this call is huge because you are an override check. Good question. So we make commission on the stuff we sell, but then we also make a small percentage on what our team sells. But as we've learned, a lot of a little bit adds up to a lot. So if you're making 1, 2, or 3% on the people below you, it can add up to tens of thousands of dollars every month. I think my overrides from my team in the month of September were 15,000 just in the override. So not commission from my sales, but from the team. So that's why. So that's your override check. So we, on the 21st or 22nd, we get commission from what we sell, and then the override check is what we get on the 8th here in Canada. So the big one at the end of the month. Yes. So that's how we make serious money doing this, is by helping other real people realize they can do it too. So becoming a student of recruiting. Yes. So being on this call is huge, or any types of trainings you can get your hands on, or anything about recruiting. Just become a student about it and really focus on just asking people, being genuine and authentic, and be like, I know this would be so awesome in your life. You know, it's different for every person, but I think you'd like Pampered Chef because, and just be authentic and ask everybody. Sometimes the people we think that are the people who are not going to be the best absolutely blow our minds at this business. All right, any questions for me? Yay, thanks, Barb. After this, we have an opportunity event.
Yep, I'm gonna set that call up right now.
Perfect.
Great stuff, Andrea.
Thank you.
Andrew, don't forget to give them the word of the night.
Oh yes, the word of the night is skeleton. Tiffany Davis's background is inspiring me. Belinda Ellsworth. She's amazing. She changed my career for sure. She's the one who did the power hour. So say you work full time, then you spend 15 minutes messaging for new bookings, 15 minutes post coaching your current ones, 15 minutes looking, but it can be 15 minutes all through your day. It's called power hour. So when you guys are going to message for bookings in that 15 minutes, you are not responding to whoever. So you're just like, hi, you're sending out like bomb messaging people for bookings. Don't respond to any of them. And then after the 15 minutes is through, then you can go and respond to those people, because then you're going to reach way more people. And it's crazy when you time yourself doing these things. Remember on Monday nights, I used to lock myself in my office. I'm like, I'm going to make phone calls and send out messages for 1 hour. And then you're like 10 minutes in and you're like, oh, I'm good. I sent out a lot of messages. No, 1 hour. It's crazy how much more you can get done. Questions for me? Yay, good call in the power hour. Woohoo! Your if my calendar is not where I need it to be, I don't watch TV. I don't get to do any of those little treats until I'm happy with my calendar. Then I'm like, sweet, I can watch my show. I have enough parties for this week. Yay. That's how I look at my business. And I have a 0% cancellation rate because I book them and then I start doing them. I don't book out like months in advance. I like book tomorrow. Let's do this. So
Hey,
if you're
Andrea, I
like,
have a question.
yeah,
Andrea,
yes.
I have a question. The power hour is 4 15-minute increments. I have 15 minutes of booking messages, 15 minutes of recruiting messages, and 15 minutes of host coaching. What was the fourth?
You could be working, if you have any team members, that would be working with any team members you have now. But if not, then you could use it 15 minutes of maybe interacting with the people in your current virtual parties. So sending your welcome messages, things like that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Ooh, I like this, Brittany. So my town is so small and there's such a stigma around social networking. So this is important. So we're not an MLM. We're not social networking. I always tell people it's direct sales, which means that we have to be part of the Direct Sellers Association, which is huge. We pretty much just take out the middleman of a store. So it's not like, and what I always like to say about this too, is we're not an MLM and it's just 100% based on recruiting. Like you can do this business and not recruit at all. A lot of those businesses are like recruit, recruit, recruit. We sell 400 amazing products that people are buying all the time. So it's not just based on recruiting. So recruiting in an environment like that, I would be like this, it's not just about recruiting. You can say, because a lot of people don't want to join these businesses because they don't want to recruit. So then you can say, you can sign up and not, recruit anybody. You can just sell. I always say to people, this product sells itself. Like literally, you're going to have a market table and people are going to run up to you and want to buy a stone. So, if you don't want to recruit, that's totally fine, but it is so much fun selling a product that everybody loves. Setting up the VP and offering it to, oh yeah, virtual party. Yeah, so what I'll do is in the group, I'm going to post some of my wording. So as I'm setting up the virtual party, I'll say, hey, Susan, I'm just setting up your party. I'm still going to run the party and you're going to get a bunch of free stuff. Or I can still run the party and you'll also make the commission. What do you think? And so it always tricks them. They're always like, I'm not trying to trick them, but they're like, I'm going to make money. I'm like, yeah, if you're the consultant, you can make money. All you have to do is buy this kit. We'll put this under you and then we're going to work to earn you some money. They're like, oh, I thought you guys got paid in product. Yeah, I know. I hate when people say I don't support MLM. I'm like, this isn't MLM. It's different. Recruiter lives. Oh, wow. Awesome. Here. If I also understand correctly, true MLM actually requires a monthly fee. Good point. That is a really good one too. Yeah, there's always going to be people that don't believe in it, but that's okay. Can't convert anybody's. That's just like I do freezer meal workshops. That people are gonna be like, "What's that? And how do you do that?" That's a whole other topic. But sometimes I charge everyone $105 each, and it's for their spices and their tools. And then some people are like, "That's too expensive." I'm like, "You're not my market. I'm not doing a discounted free." It's kind of like this. It's like you think it's a scam. It's okay. You're not somebody I want on my team, anyways. I'm not trying to convince you and change the world. There's so many people we can ask to. Just be confident in what we do. You're a business owner. This is a serious business, and your confidence is going to shine through. Blaine can't leave my job on product, Amy is. Yeah, the good call. And sometimes people will be like, I'll start in January. And I'll be like, well, what is so going to be so different in January than in now? I always like to say that to people. I'm like, by January, we could already have have paid for Christmas cash. What does it make sense? Just like when I'm working, like a lot of you that are working to promote to director, a lot of people are like, I'm going to do it by next conference. I'm like, let's do it this month. We have a $44 kit. Like we can sign up 5 people in a day. We just can't find 5,000 in a day. So let's stack your calendar to try to get you to that 5,000. And then at the end of the month, we can really find you 5 people. I promise. So always push your deadlines a little bit closer. Yes, I will for sure share about the freezer meal workshops. So then if you turn their party into their parties, she's still going to get host rewards. So she's going to get the host rewards and the paycheck, but you're just going to be the one to run the virtual party. I always think that people are crazy when they don't say yes. I'm like, really? You don't want to make this your party? You're going to make money and I'm going to do all the work. Really? Are you sure? Nope. Canada's in Canada and the States is in the States. Yay, love it. Scared to sign on. Most people are scared of failing. And kidnappers, did you know that 100% of people never kidnap. Every single person who buys a kit has a little baby hope that they're actually going to be able to sell something. So just remember that. Sometimes we're like, oh, this person's a total kidnapper. Statistically, every person buys a kit hoping they'll be able to sell. This is awesome. I love these stories. I forgot the host rewards. Yeah, thank God. And has anybody hosted a party with any other companies recently and been like, man, we have the best host rewards in the world? Oh, that's awesome. Do it scared. What's the worst thing that can happen? I always like to say, nothing's a Pampered Chef emergency, thank God. Woohoo! And it's there's nothing to be scared of. Worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to get lots of free product for a great price. How do you get people who are with other companies? I don't try to poach. I always say that, I will sometimes say that we have found that Pampered Chef complements the product that you're selling. If you wanted to try to sell both, often we win people over who sell two things because our website is so much better. We put millions into it, millions and millions. It's way more user friendly and our host rewards are better. So you can say, this really complements what you're selling. You're selling Norwex or whatever it is. Oh, cook with our stuff, clean with yours. Worth a shot. Again, just that ask. You guys are awesome. Unmute if you have a question. If not, I got a boogie. Another call. Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Hope you guys have. That is so true. Most hosts don't believe in themselves, and most consultants don't believe in themselves. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your time tonight. You are rock stars. I will post the recording. Have a good evening.